What is up, everybody? DanDanTheFireman here. Today we're going to be doing something slightly different. I do have the green screen up, but I'm going to go sit in my chair because I'm trying to stay on topic on this one. But I do have some recommendations for the COVID-19 situation going on, and this has been brought up by a lot of Discord members, a lot of emails actually talking about what do I do? What do I do? Do I keep practicing? We have a lockdown, we have a stay-at-home order, this, and this. My mental health, everything used to be my therapy. So I'm going to go ahead and go over some of these things, and I'm going to come from a position of, this is Daniel here, not Dan and the Fireman. This is something that I've been dealing on my own here, personally at home, and some things that have really helped me out and I want to share with you. I do have quite a bit of training with bloodborne pathogens, any type of pathogens, body substance isolations from my 11 years as a firefighter EMT. And I've seen some pretty bad diseases out there. I've had to deal with some bad diseases out there. And this one is actually kind of scary. So I'm going to have some timestamps in the description, kind of going from spot to spot. I'm going to have basically 3 spots that I want to really talk about. The first one is basically, should you ride? Second one is that if you are an essential personnel, you pretty much have to ride or get to work. And then the third one is going to be mental health and talking about a little bit of that. To give you guys a little bit of a rundown on my own personal mental health, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety back in February 2018. 18, and it was something that was really big and kicked off the Discord server that I have. I actually designed it around the mental health, so it just grew from there. But we do have a mental health section, so I'll talk more about that towards the end. But first and foremost, I really can't stress this enough. Do not ride unless it is absolutely needed. And I'm going to go into a little bit on that one. But basically, and I don't care about the legalities and the laws. I honestly don't. I'm talking to you guys. You guys are all adults. You can make your own decisions. The main thing here is I really want you to stop all leisure riding. Now, if you have to ride to go to the grocery store or do errands because that's the only vehicle you have, that's perfectly fine. That's what you're supposed to do. But don't just go out of the house. Really listen to some of these experts out there. And I'm not going to talk too much about experts or even what COVID-19 really does. It's the disease. The coronavirus is the type of disease, and then the transmission, all that stuff I'm not going to really mess with. I highly recommend listening to Dr. Fauci. When Trump ever talks on the TV, just kind of ignore what he has to say about the medical side and then listen to when Dr. Fauci and his colleagues talk. Highly recommend listening to him. He talks like me, no bullshit, and he's going to let you know what's going to happen. He's going to tell you, based off information, all that stuff. So listen to him. But I really wanted to talk about, not leisure riding, guys. Don't go out leisure riding. I understand it's the throttle therapy. It's what's really kind of letting you release a lot. And I know a lot of you guys are men. About 95% of my viewers are men, and this is kind of our way of releasing some of the demons, getting the anger out, zoning into something that is not stressful. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the circle of control, the circle of influence, and circle of concern a little bit later in the mental health section of this. But we're going to jump straight into the essential personnel part. This is the second part. So I already talked about don't ride unless it's absolutely needed. And essential personnel basically are needed. They have to go to work. This could be police, fire, it could be anything government related. That's basically infrastructure, truckers, people part of the supply chain, anybody at the grocery stores, food. Those people have to go to work, or they're essential. They're needed to go to work. And I know a lot of you out there that, especially on this channel, motorcycling or a motorcycle is literally your only form of transportation. So that right there is very important to make sure that you're being extra safe, because motorcycling is dangerous. It quite literally is if you don't have the skills to basically function on the motorcycle. So understand the risks there. And when I talk about risks, I do the AARs all the time, the after action reviews, and the chance of, if you get in a crash, there's a good chance both, of being severely injured. Now that right there is not going to get you COVID-19. That's not going to get you, the disease. But what's going to get you the disease is that if you go to the hospital, you could get cross-contaminated with patients there that have the disease. So if it's a sprained ankle or, you know, a broken fib or whatever it is, and you go to the hospital, there's a good chance of you contracting the disease. Now, they're going to do their best to make sure that you don't, but that's just one of those things. So when it comes to riding to work, make sure you are a smart rider. And I utilize that system, there you go, of being situationally aware of fundamental skills, acquiring and utilizing the gear. We're not too worried about rescuing others right now or teaching others, the R&T part. But the biggest thing is make sure you're on point. Make sure you are zoned in to work. Remember, level of control, circle of influence, circle of concern. Right now, what you should be concerned about is you getting to work and back. And so don't be concerned about people on their phones. Don't be concerned about any of that stuff. Be in control of you and be in control of your bike. Don't put yourself in a bad situation, which is going to be kind of hard, especially with the mental health that I'm going to be talking about a little bit later. It also really needs to play into the part of practicing your fundamental skills. So if you can, since you are an essential personnel, and it's who I'm talking to right now, go to a parking lot, practice 1 hour a week. You know, if all that is on the way home from work, you have a certain parking lot that's on the way home and you do 10 minutes a day after work, that's perfectly fine. Pick a few exercises, do tight turn from stop, U-turns, do some swerves, practice your braking. That's going to be very helpful. That's going to keep you sharp. That's going to keep you ready for any type of bad situations. Also watch the AARs for the situational awareness part. Look for those patterns and everything that we talk about during the live streams and then during my Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos. That's very, very, very important. And then the A portion of acquiring and utilizing personal protective equipment, that also plays, you know, into obviously the mask for the COVID-19 and utilizing what you can at work, but also having full gear just in case you do crash. Hopefully it's going to be so minimized that you don't have to call 911 or go to the hospital so that you hopefully don't get cross-contaminated. That's very, very, very important. And if you don't know how to practice some of these exercises, I do have the ddfmcrew.com website, and I have it listed in parking lot exercises, at-home exercises, you know, street riding skills, and those are all free exercises. I do have diagrams on some of the parking lot stuff that you can just, if you find a parking lot with some spaces, you're good to go to practice. And I highly recommend, like I said, 10 minutes a day on the way back from work, or go on a weekend for about an hour and take your time, do some stuff. Don't push it too hard. I would say about 50 to 70% of your skill. That's how much I want you to push. Don't go to 100% just in case there's a little overflow. We talk about traction, overflowing. Anyways, don't push yourself too hard. It's just to maintain your skills. We're not trying to gain new skills at this point or get better. We're just trying to maintain, because this whole situation is pretty crazy. So with that said, as an essential personnel, be very careful. If you absolutely can, try to take a car. Don't do public transit, obviously. But if you're going to be doing this, make sure you're washing your hands and you're doing everything that Dr. Fauci and everyone recommends, okay? When it comes to the mental health part, now, a lot of people, they ride a motorcycle, and I talked about motorcycles and depression, how when I zone in on the motorcycle, it just removes all the bullshit that goes on in my brain. And that's why I absolutely loved riding motorcycles. I was able to control something for the first time in a very long time. And I know a lot of you are just deteriorating, and it really hurts me to see that, because I know what it feels like. So the mental health part, I understand that a lot of people have the stay-at-home orders, and I understand there's like some type of a lockdown. It's the main thing for that is to not transmit or gain this transmission. So that's why that's there. So a lot of you either lost your jobs, which I'm very sorry to hear, but a lot of you lost your jobs. A lot of you are working from home now. A lot of you are just stuck at home, and it's cabin fever. It's not good for us, mental health, depression, and anxiety. So I'm just going to share with you my schedule, what I do. This is something that was recommended by my therapist because I started working from home since May 2019 or 2018. So this is something that was recommended to kind of alleviate a lot of the stress and a lot of the confusion. So I'm going to explain my schedule. I wake up around 6:30, 7 o'clock every day, and in the morning. And that's a very important, waking up early. It doesn't sound like it, especially if you're working from home. It's like I'll wake up at 10 or whenever I do. Keeping a schedule and starting the schedule with something really shitty and something you don't want to do, which is wake up early, is going to just make the rest of your day better because you already did the one thing that you didn't want to do, and now the rest of the stuff is cake. So wake up early, brush your teeth, do all that stuff, good hygiene, dress for the day. This is why I dress in this uniform. I consider this a uniform. When I put this on, I'm at work, and even if I'm filming or not. And then I was recommended by my therapist to go for a walk. This is something that I typically do anyways, but she recommended to start my day like it's my commute to work. So I go for about a 45-minute to a 1 hour long walk. It used to be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and it just keeps going more and more and more. And I take my dog. It gets me exercise. It gets me out. I'm still social isolating. I'm not near anybody, and I stay away from others. I wash my hands, and I wash my face when I get back home. Just all these different things. So now, as soon as I get home, I'm at work. And I treat work as how I used to as a firefighter, is that, well, we work out. So Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I started a little workout routine in which I have on the Discord, and it's basically just body weight stuff. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, join the Discord. We have the gym section, and we also have the mental health section. So if you want to go ahead and vent and hang out in the lounge or whatever it is you want to do, we have it for you. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do my workout, and then I focus on a healthier diet. So I actually dropped 10, 15 pounds since the beginning of the year, and it's been very good for me mentally. So a good physical body makes you a good mental body or brain. So focus on a healthy diet as best you can. Work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just body weight stuff, push-up, squats, planks. That's pretty much all you need to do, or just a bunch of burpees. And then I get to work. So roughly around 9 o'clock, I get to work on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. 8 o'clock is typically on a normal day. And I work all the way through lunch, but that's just based off my diet. But take a lunch break from 12 to 1. Take a lunch break. Don't worry about work. Just get yourself ready and recharge, then get back to work after that. To end my day, just like I did at the beginning, I would go for a walk. So I'm going for a walk, same thing, same route, same everything. And that's how I end my day. So right after that walk, I'm not here. I'm not here on the computer. I'm not here on any of that stuff. And I hyper focus on my family and sharing some new ideas and some fun things that we can do at home. And that's kind of what we're doing here on the Discord server. So now we're going to kind of talk a little bit about the Discord. We had this giant community. We got well over 3,000 people in there, and we have a bunch of people obviously now having to be at home. And we're all helping each other out. I can kind of see the stress going on when people texting in the Discord. I understand it's a very stressful situation, but to go back to the control, influence, and concern, all of us have this concern, when is this going to end? But we don't have control over that. So it's best not to be overly, use all your bandwidth of your brain. Don't use more than 10% of your brain on that concern, because we just can't. And we're all going to help each other through this in the Discord. And I see a lot of people with their concerns, and we talk about them. The level of influence that we have, we don't have a lot. We really don't have a lot of influence on what's going on. How do we influence this disease? How do we influence the government on this stuff? I mean, that's all if you guys want to figure out. But the best thing you can do is kind of work smaller. What can you do to influence your neighborhood? What can you do to influence your family? If you see like your wife, husband, or whatever, kids go out, make sure they're taking extra precautions and stuff like that. What level of control? Well, that goes into the control also. What do you have control over? And what we have control over is our household and us and how we react to it. So I see a lot of the deterioration going on with control. But like I said, what do we have control over? Your own schedule. Every day, wake up early, work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, go for a walk. Instead of work, if you're out of work, pick a hobby. So treat it like it's a work day. Go for your walk, do your workout, start your hobby, take a lunch break, start your other hobby or something. You have to keep busy. A lot of problems with men is that if we lose a purpose, like a job, which is a big purpose, or a family, or a wife, or kids, whatever we decided to make our identity, motorcycle rider. If we lose that, we devolve, we get bad, and we can't have that. So I'm trying my best. I'm making a Monday, Wednesday, Friday video. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm doing 2-hour live streams every day so we can have this interaction. And it's not just for you, it's just for me too. But then we also have the Discord where we can hang out and chat and pretty much be who we are. This is how I am on the Discord. Sometimes I'll play around, but this is who I am. I try to include you guys on my very quick leisure time of video games. So I tell everybody, hey, I'm going to play some video games. You want to join? And that's kind of what we need to do for each other out here. We live on the internet. Join the Discord and bring other people into your hobbies. Share your hobbies. We all want to hear it. We all want to learn it. We all want these stories, and it's going to help us along this path. And this is not going to go away for a while. So I'm currently, to go back to the essential personnel, I'm developing a system of training exercises where you can film yourself, and it's going to be this new training center that we have on the Discord and during the live streams is where we're going to go ahead and critique. We're going to help each other out. We're going to make each other better riders. We're going to try to be as efficient as possible with the 10 minutes we have at the end of the day or the hour that we have during the week for the practice. So there's going to be a lot of improvements, a lot of things that are going to be built around a community on this channel, the DanDanTheFireman Firehouse, the crew. So we're building a community, not necessarily we're building I'm a motorcycle coach, listen to me, I'm a safety guy. This is going to be something really big, and I know it's needed, not just for you guys, but for me. And I need this community. So I'm trying to foster and build a very positive one that's inclusive, as long as you obviously follow the Discord's terms of service, because we are Discord partnered, so we have to follow along with a lot of rules. But I just wanted you guys to understand you're not alone. The mental health is something, like I said, I deal with day in, day out. And the one thing that has really helped me is not trusting my emotions, only trusting what I have control over and how I react to it. What's the problem? How can I solve it? And that's how I treat my videos, and that's how I'm really trying to treat my life. And I want to share that with you guys. And that's what we're doing here. Okay, guys? But with that said, I hope you guys ride safe if you're essential personnel, but be safe out there. Please do so. And if you have any questions, honestly, if you guys have any questions about, the actual COVID-19, coronavirus, pathogens, body substance isolation, all those different things, ask in the comments, but definitely ask in the Discord. You can go ahead and tag me, and I'll respond. But this is me, Dan the Fireman, Daniel, just saying, I'll see you around.